Qudus, thanks for joining me. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Qudus. I am a third-year undergrad here at MIT studying computational cognition, intersection point between computer science and neuroscience, and I'm also the president of the Undergrad Entrepreneurship Club.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to chat with you about the MIT Entrepreneurship Club. Kind of curious, how did you first learn about that club on campus?
Yeah, so I got involved in that club towards the latter half of my freshman spring. I met the president/founder of the club because it's a relatively newer club that's on MIT's campus. But I met him at an event that one of my friends invited me to. Was kind of always interested in the idea of starting my own company one day. Never knew what that looked like coming in as a student. But found the club, went to an event with them. It was a mixture between MIT and Harvard. Went there and was pretty interested in meeting these people, and it was very interesting, just to be in that kind of environment. And later spoke with the president about joining the club and being officially more involved in it. And I guess that's kind of my first entry point into being involved in the club and the great entrepreneurship scene at MIT.
Awesome. So MEC is MIT's undergraduate community of founders. What's the background or history of the organization? How long has this been around? How many people is it? What are other details that maybe is important for the audience to know?
Yeah, so we were started officially probably right before COVID. But COVID happened, so that kind of killed that momentum of initially starting. So really, we consider this to be this year our third year on campus. Starting from 2021, and this is our third year on campus actually doing things, being an active organization. So yeah, we're a group of, I'd say maybe around 70, 80 members in total. About 30 or 40 of them are consistently active and being involved in the club. But yeah, we were started with the goal of being a more active, hands-on entrepreneurship club. Being in the entrepreneurship space, starting your own startup, working at a startup, and not something you can passively learn by watching videos or just hearing other people talk about their experiences. Of course, all that is important along the process, but it's also important to make sure that you actually get those experiences yourself. And this is the most low risk time to do so while you're a student, and you can do it alongside classes and not risk out on leaving a full-time paying job after you graduate or when you get later on in life. Which is part of the reason we started. There are a couple other clubs around MIT in the entrepreneurship space, but our biggest differentiator that we kind of urge people to take a hands-on approach, whether that be trying something out now or going to work at a startup or just being involved in the community and meeting and seeing what other people are working on campus.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think entrepreneurship is really learned by building stuff rather than reading something online or listening to a video. So it's good that you guys are taking that approach, I think. And kind of curious, how does one get involved in this club? Is there an application process? Is it wide open to any undergraduate student, or how do people get in?
Yeah, so we kind of have two ways of approaching that. We understand people learn about the club at various points in their journey through MIT, and also various points of the year. So we have two officially recruitment processes that we have in the start of the fall semester, start of the spring semester. And that process is really just to get to know more about the people that we're bringing into this community, and really curate this to be people who actually want to be involved, not just people who are just passively wanting to do something or add another club to their list of things that they're involved in. So we have that recruitment process where we kind of have some events, we meet them, they meet us, we introduce ourselves, and we also have application process and a very informal meeting, interview, 5-10 minutes, just really get to know them a bit more beyond whatever we met throughout the week. So we have that both in fall and spring. And then the other way is just we also have external events that we host for the wider MIT community, just to really showcase entrepreneurship on campus and let people know about what's happening in this space. So people can come to those events, see what the club is about, and then decide later on it's something they want to be part of, and then get on the path of joining us.
Cool. And can you talk more about what you're looking for when selecting students for the club? It sounds like you're looking for people who want to be involved, is a big thing. What are some other things that you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, that is the biggest thing. We're not number constrained. We're not trying to pick a certain amount of numbers or a certain amount of people. Our biggest thing is we want people who actually want to be there. So if it seems like you want to be there, if you show up to the the I guess recruitment week events that we host, just introducing ourselves, introducing what the entrepreneurship community is like. You show up to those events, and kind of engage and show they actually want to be a part of it. It's pretty straightforward for you to get in. The application is more formalities, to get to know you a bit more, because we can't meet everyone throughout that week or that time frame as in depth as we'd like to. But the application is just trying to see, are you really interested in being part of this? Are you actually interested in entrepreneurship, or is this just something you want to add to your list of things you're doing? So I think that's the biggest thing, because we want people to be in the club, you know, who actively want to be involved and actively want to meet people, do things, and experience, you know, things in this area.
Cool. And I was looking at your website before this call, and I saw Starthouse, Startup Interface, and Late Night.
Yeah.
Are those like your programs, or can you give an overview of like what those are?
Yeah. So like those are the three main things that MEC as a club that we do. So there's, you mentioned Starthouse, Startup Interface, and Late Night. So Late Night is something that, you know, we launched at the end of last semester. And the whole idea behind that is just, you know, at MIT and a lot of other big universities, you know, you get crowded with people recruiters coming from big tech, the finance companies, the quant companies, the consulting, all these, you know, big companies have their major presence on campus, always hosting events, major presence at career fair. And oftentimes, you know, a lot of, you know, people who are recruiting for those places, which, you know, which is completely fine. But then people want to do things in the entrepreneurship space. They struggle to find like-minded people who want to do that, who don't want to go recruit or interview at those places, but rather want to start building something, just experience that startup life now. So with Late Night, you know, we have this weekly meeting, hangout session, whatever you want to call it. We just get food, we just hang around, and, you know, people can meet each other in the entrepreneurship space and just like start building a sense of community. And like, you know, you can meet other people or work on things. Even if you're not working on something yourself, or if you're not working on something with someone there, but, you know, you just meet people in that space and know that, you know, it exists on campus instead of, you know, only the, you know, the consulting events or the, you know, big tech events or the quant events, you know, that there's a community of people who are actually building things. So that's really the goal of Late Night and what we do with that. And then with Startup Interface, that program is, we're still launching it out and, you know, working on the fine details of it. But the idea behind that is startups want to hire, you know, students from our organization, students from MIT in general, and students, you know, a good amount of them want to go work at startups and experience, you know, it started throughout the way for me, you know, get the hands-on experience to entrepreneurship. So we're launching this program where startups can reach out to us, you know, and, you know, we help them connect with students, and students are interested in working at startups. You know, we help them just kind of meet in the middle, because oftentimes, like I mentioned, these bigger companies who have the resources, the money, the people to, you know, have a major presence constantly here throughout the entire school year on campus, you know, they have much more advantage because of that. So it's hard for these startups to kind of come and find those interested students, you know, when you're looking at a 10-person team and only one person's handling hiring, you know, how do you you know, accommodate for someone to spend so much time in one place looking for someone, you know, especially high quality candidates who want to go work at these places. And the third thing that we have is Starthouse. And Starthouse is, you know, we're running it for the second time this year, but it's essentially just, you know, an on-ramp for people who want to get started with an idea, right? A lot of people at MIT, right, just, you know, that stereotype of everyone can build cool things, build cool products here. They can build a website, cool app, whatever it is. But how do you take that cool product, cool idea into a revenue-generating business, you know, which oftentimes people are the skills people are lacking in. So what we teach is, you know, we have this 6 weeks program at the end of the fall semester, which is currently running now. And the idea behind that is teach people those fundamental skills of how do you find product market fit? How do you go about understanding your user, building something people need, not want, you know, so that way even, you know, whatever you're building is something that people feel that they can't live without and question how they did beforehand. Because everyone can build a cool website and whatever, but it's like take that one step further and make something that's impactful for each user, each customer that you have. And then from that, MIT has a January period where we have the entire 4 weeks of January off. And then we use that period, you know, to accelerate people's growth in whatever they're working on, either building MVP, getting LOIs, going whatever it is they're working on, to, you know, show that, you know, it's something that they can actually do and pursue. And, you know, just put them on the path to work on, you know, for a lot of them, their first idea, put them on the path of trust them for their first time.
Cool. And what types of companies are people building in the club? Is it mostly just like tech startups and they want to eventually raise maybe like venture money, or are people building small business, nonprofits, other types of businesses as well?
Yeah, I mean, so we kind of get a good range of things across that spectrum. Of course, you know, just the way everything is now, a lot of things incorporating AI in some sense. I would say, you know, the biggest thing that I've also noticed is that people aren't necessarily just focusing on the, like, you know, what people refer to as like ChatGPT wrappers, but more so like expanding a bit more on the AI and adding different, you know, more value than just, you know, integrating an open API call. So, you know, of course, we have a lot of the AI softwares. We also do get a lot of people doing, or a good amount of people doing other things. We have some people in the hard tech space, the ag tech space. We have people doing more social entrepreneurship or climate entrepreneurship. You know, so we do have a wider range wide array of what people are working on. But then again, primarily a lot of people are doing things AI related or something in that space, just because of that the way most of the student body here at MIT is.
Cool. And what do you see as like the biggest opportunities to improve the club right now?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more people out there on MIT's campus that are doing things or want to do things in entrepreneurship space, but just don't know about us.
Yeah.
We haven't been the best at marketing ourselves as a club on campus. So that's something we've been trying to improve and trying to branch out to more people, and even beyond the undergrad communities. The grad student communities. There are a lot of grad students who want to be in this space but don't know where to go. So trying to fill that disconnect and really expand into those areas and really become a more centralized place on campus that people understand as, if I'm interested in entrepreneurship space, this is where I meet people, and this is where, I go to, get help and accelerate what I'm working on.
Cool. And now I want to sort of transition to questions to help students who maybe want to join the internal team. When do you recruit for internal team members? Is it similar to external, or other members where it's beginning of each semester?
Yeah. So for the MEC exec team, we usually have a change of execs each start of the spring semester. We found that to be the best time, because over the summer you get a large drop off and people graduating, people commitments, anything like that. So it's easy to track that over fall to spring semester. But yeah, people want to be involved. We do. People can reach out to us directly if they're not already in the club, or if they are in the club, we do let them know internally about the open positions that we have coming up, and things that they can be on the lookout for in terms of active roles within MEC.
Cool. And how are those positions filled? I guess, is it another like application interview process, or is it like some sort of club vote, or how does that work?
Yeah, so more or less it's a combination of application process. So this is the third year, right? Like I mentioned, the way we've kind of transitioned, I guess, the president or to like the lead role within MEC has been kind of like, the president chooses, the next successor, I guess, from the current exec members. Someone who's like, committed to, the goal of MEC and, expanding it beyond what it currently is and continue to grow it. And then from there, whoever is in the presidency role, whether it's one person or two people, they kind of, will go about meeting the potential new exec team, seeing are they actually committed to, putting in time and effort into growing whatever it is that, their role is and position is, and just, picking out the best people from whoever apply. The application process is just really the application interview process really just understand and know, are you committed to helping MEC grow and like actually this, vision and goal of creating a community and creating a way for people to have more hands-on approach to entrepreneurship.
Cool. And kind of curious, do you guys work with like other organizations on campuses, or other entrepreneurship organizations, maybe faculty? Are you guys ingrained with the MIT community in different ways, or how do you think about that?
Yeah, I'd say we're pretty ingrained in the MIT community, in the wider MIT entrepreneurship community. So right, we're a student organization, so we do things a bit differently and have a bit more different leeway in what we can and can't do. But then there are official MIT departments, such as the two that come to mind are the Martin Trust Center for Entrepreneurship, which is this what it is. It's a center for entrepreneurship where they have entrepreneurs in residence, EIRs, as those people running it who have startup experience, who are currently startup founders, and have these experiences. There's also the Office of Innovation, which runs the MIT Innovation Headquarters, which again is another location where there's a lot of different mentorships and grant programs and other organizations within the entrepreneurship space that kind of run out of these locations. And we do work closely with them as we host various events or do various things on campus, because of the fact that like our goals are aligned. How we do different things might differ, but like our goals are aligned and bring up the entrepreneurship space within the MIT community.
Cool. And for people who watch this video that maybe don't attend MIT but want to like plug into this ecosystem, is the best way through maybe like startup interface for startups who want to hire MIT students, or what's the best way to like plug in and help this community?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. So right, if you, like you mentioned, if you're a startup, you're looking to recruit from MIT, you want to hire interns, full-time people, part-time during a semester, you can definitely check out the startup interface program. If you go to our website, the email will be there if it's not there already. And then, for people who are interested as well, just outside in general, whatever your role is, or position is, we're starting to use our LinkedIn a lot more. So, posting more about who's in the club, what we do, and just other general content like that. So
Yeah.
they can also follow our LinkedIn page and stay more up to date with those things as well.
Sweet. And last question, is there anything I didn't ask about that you think is important to know for a student who's considering your club, or for someone who wants to join the internal team?
Nothing really that comes to mind. I just say, like, entrepreneurship is a hands-on experience that, kind of have to go try to do something.
Yeah.
And the best time to do it is now while you're a student, because you do have, that low risk factor of, you can take the risk of, putting your classes and your startup, whatever you worked on, side by side. And then if it doesn't go well, or if it does go well, you can make your decisions based on that after the fact. But because once you step onto the real world, and then you have your 9-to-5 job or whatever it is, it's much more harder to find that time, or to even take a step back to pursue something for the first time, at least.
Yeah, awesome. Great way to finish. Thank you so much, Qudus, for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.